What's up, everybody? It's Conger Live. Today's video, we're looking at the Syndicate heroes' potential when you rank them up. What are their skills like? If you're new to the channel, subscribe for more content. Ninja, kick that like button, leave a comment with your thoughts, and let's go get into it. Okay, here we are in the Heroes of Dominus under Syndicate. Gonna go over the rares, which can be ranked up to Legendary Plus. Real quick, increased physical damage, increased stacks of injured, increased stacks of poisoned from Skirk. Not amazing, but could be helpful. Every 7th basic attack deals 315% physical damage, gains 3 stack of focused, so faster, more damage, more stacks. And after rogue ally crits with an attack, they gain 3 stacks of dodging, and their next attack applies 2 stacks of poison to their target. So that's pretty cool how, even though I don't think Skirk is a toxic character, he could potentially be used on a poison team as a 4th, because Pollux is definitely one, and so is Felbog. Yeah, nothing too amazing from the Legendary Plus characters, but we definitely want to give them a glance to see how much better their skills have gotten. Rogue allies gain 2 stacks of focus. I think before it was just 1. Griff attacks 2 times, dealing 140%, so a little bit more damage. Every successful hit gets a stack of injured, and light armored enemies receive an additional 45% physical damage per attack. Here I think we just increased the stacks of dodging that Rogue and Syndicate allies gain. And then every 5th basic attack, so more often, more damage, applies more stacks of marked for 6 seconds, and drains the enemy hit by 30%. That's a pretty big drain, energy, 30%. I don't know, we haven't seen a whole lot that high. So pretty interesting stuff from Griff. I think he's a great 3-star, was it rare character. Durzing's also a pretty good rare character, but of course we don't want to put too much stock in these guys. He pulls, which is really cool. He deals over 1,000 magical damage and applies 2 stacks of weaken to the target. He gains taunting for 8 seconds, so this is pretty cool. His Doom Grasp. It is expensive at 200, but that's a big number, that 1,000. And after he's hit by an melee attack, he does 50% magical damage to the attacking enemy. That splashback damage is nice. He has a 50% chance to apply 1 stack of weakened to them. So this chance was low at level 1, but at level 3, 50%, it's not bad. Wrath for the weak. Brawler and Sorcerer allies gain take 15% less damage. Brawler and Sorcerer, hint hint. Less damage from weakened enemies and deal 15% more damage to weakened enemies. And since he does apply that weakened, this could really help your team survive. So he has some potential there, but of course can only go to Legendary Plus, so wouldn't put too much stock into those guys. Okay, let's take a look at the epic heroes that can become Exalted. They can get level 4 skills. Strike 5 times in a cone. That's the same. 105% physical damage to all enemies hit. Apply. That's a bigger number. Applies 3 stacks of injured, more injured, and taunts for 6 seconds. Okay, longer taunt. Passively gains 25% chance to dodge basic attacks, 50% chance while Z is taunting. Okay, so 25-50% of the time to dodge basic attacks. I'd like to see this be more. I guess 50% is pretty good when taunting, and she taunts for 6 seconds. So okay, I haven't been impressed with Z so far. I've tried using her once or twice, and she didn't do much for me. After an enemy hit uses their ultimate, Z dashes to that enemy. It deals physical damage, purges 3 buffs, and applies inhibited for 4 seconds. So the inhibited is cool. Get rid of their buffs. They can't get more buffs for 4 seconds. That's pretty cool. But it's after they use their ult. So ults usually do a lot of stuff. Not exactly the most amazing. And frontline allies passively take 30% less damage. Okay, that's pretty big. And Z takes an additional 5% less damage for each alive Syndicate ally. Whenever a frontline or Syndicate ally drops below 50% max health for the first time, Z gains taunting for 5 seconds. So hopefully helping to keep her teammates alive. It shows the recommended allies. I definitely understand these 3 down here probably being some of the best Syndicate allies. Cascade and Sable for sure. I'm just not sure where Z falls into place. If there's a really valuable use for her, maybe in an all Syndicate team. The way to go. You need a tank. Sable's an amazing support. I love her kit. Her Cyclone, she does 475 magical damage, drains 25% energy. That's good. Applies stunned for 3 seconds, and also applies 2 stacks of weakened to enemy hit. So just draining more energy and dealing more damage as you level her up. The stunning and the weakened, it always happens, which is why I like her so much. You can get value out of her right away. She applies regenerating for 4 seconds and adds 2 stacks of dodging to the lowest health ally once every 8 seconds. So I think this was longer. I think at level 1. So getting that dodging is nice. Keep your guys alive. Every 5th basic attack does 315% magical damage, or 630, twice as much against heavy armored targets. So very effective against mostly tanks or like heavy armored strikers. And applies 3 stacks of burning. She always applies that burning, so just deals more damage with that solar beam. And then exploit exhaustions deals increased damage to burning or weakened targets. Fire and sorcerer allies deals 60% increased damage instead. So definitely works well on a fire and sorcerer team. Other fire sorcerers for sure is a Pyre. I think Borzla. Fire and sorcerer allies deal an additional 200% damage to heavy armored targets as well. So, very cool support character. Yeah. Pollux is the goblin striker that does some poison and stuff. She throws 5 vials of concoctions at enemies, dealing 250% magical damage, and randomly applies 1 stack of poisoned or weakened to the enemy per vial. It's too bad this 1 stack doesn't increase. It was always 1 stack, so I don't know why it's highlighted in green, but these green numbers are generally ones that change as things get better. After every 10 seconds, Pollux causes 2 random debuffs, heals 230% power, and gains 2 stacks of random buffs. Syndicate and Toxic allies basic attacks have an additional 20% chance to crit enemies who are poisoned per stack of poison on them. Nice. So if they have like 5 stacks of poisoned, guaranteed crit. Wow. Okay. When a poison enemy is killed, they deal 160% magical damage to nearby enemies. Oh, cool. Like a little explosion because they're all poisoned. That's really cool. Pollux passively deals an additional 50% damage to heavy armored targets. Okay. Definitely poisoning and getting rid of heavy armor. Some strength from Pollux. And then Dazing Agent. Syndicate and Toxic allies basic attacks have an additional 25% chance to apply stun to enemies who are weakened for 5 seconds. When a weakened enemy is killed, 2 stacks of blinded is applied to nearby enemies. Very nice. So finding people that apply weakened would help. I think that she does poisoned or weakened, but if there's other people on her team that do poisoned and weakened, definitely going to get more out of her. And then blinded is nice. I don't think this existed in the earlier when this was lower level at 1. You didn't even know that she blinded. Really, really cool. We got Henrir up. Henrir deals 1400% physical damage to the target and 1680 if the target is warband. I think this is the largest single damage boost of anybody in the game. If the target is killed, Ranger and Syndicate allies gain 4 stacks of Focused. Focus is excellent. It's going to give them extra crit chance. Henrir's attacks can't be dodged. Excellent. Every 5th, Henrir's next attack is guaranteed to crit and applies 3 stacks of injured to the target. Ooh, that's so nasty. Rangers allies passively gain 5% chance to dodge. Allies ranged physical attack damage deal an extra 15% damage and plus 3% per stack of debuff on enemy targets. Okay. So more damage from ranged allies' physical attacks. So I don't think there's many ranged physical characters. Most of the ranged characters are magical. After being hit by a melee attacker, you gain 35 cents. Oh yeah, dash away and stunned. I wish this was higher, maybe up to 50, but 35, one out of 3, I guess is fair. Stun him for 5 seconds. That's a decent amount of stun time. And when triggered, Syndicate and Ranger allies gain shielded for 3 seconds. So I guess if this happens, then he also, so yeah, interesting. Okay, so RNG, tactical disengage. We want that RNG for that to trigger as much as possible if you're using Honrir. And then last but definitely not least, Cascade is one of my other favorite heroes in the game. Probably my favorite Syndicate hero. She's amazing. Cleanses all debuffs on self, then teleports behind the enemy, dealing 700% physical damage, and applies 3 stacks of slow to the target. Deals bonus 250% physical damage to backline targets, which in general she teleports to backline targets anyways. So that's a 950%. When you combine them, it's pretty good. Slice and Dice, every 5th basic attack, deals 315% physical damage, and Cascade gains 3 stacks of Hasten. So she's going to start whacking a lot faster after she gets 5 attacks in. Passively gains additional 15% chance to crit and deals an additional 50% physical damage when she crits. When Cascade crits, she applies 3 stacks of wounded to the enemy target. So I could definitely see that working well with, I think, was it Pollux, even though she's not listed here, has the wounded things that she likes, and then Honrir as well. Pretty interesting. And then the assassination spree at the start of battle after killing an enemy, after Cascade uses her ultimate ability, Rogue and Water allies gain 2 stacks of hasten and 2 stacks of focus. So you could definitely imagine putting her with some other rogues or some other water allies to maximize this, because it's going to happen a lot. Start of battle, enemy kill, and whenever she uses her ultimate ability, really keep the juice flowing. Really, really like Cascade. All right, that's it for the Syndicate heroes. Let me know what you guys think. Which ones are your favorite? Leave a comment down below. Don't forget to ninja kick that like button and subscribe for more content, and we'll see you in the next video.